Imagine you are lost in the forest in the middle of a pitch-black night, so dark that you cannot even see your own hands. This is a primal fear. There is no faint moonlight piercing through the clouds. A cold wind howls through the dry leaves. Every tiniest sound, a snapping branch or a rustling noise, could be the footsteps of a predator drawing near. You curl yourself up beneath a tree. You rub your hands together, searching for a fleeting shred of warmth. You wait for the sunrise at dawn as your only salvation. Today, this feeling only surfaces when you get lost, but for 99% of human history, this was the reality every single night. The only concept you knew about the night was absolute terror. So how did your ancestors tear through that veil of darkness? Let's travel back in time to 2 million years ago on the desolate savannas of Africa. You do not know fire as a tool. You only know fire as a brutal monster. It strikes down from the sky via lightning, devouring forests and leaving behind scorching ash. Your only instinct is to turn your back and run for your life. But then, one day, curiosity overcomes fear. After a natural wildfire, you timidly step closer to the blackened earth. The heat is still radiating intensely. You see the carcass of an animal that couldn't escape in time. Hunger urges you to tear off a charred piece of meat and taste it. An actual explosion happens in your brain. The meat is no longer tough and chewy or reeking of raw blood. It is tender. It is fragrant. It is bizarrely juicy. For the first time, you realize that the blazing red monster brings a gift. But humanity's first steps were not an invention. They were a theft. You wait for wildfires, trembling as you pick up a smoldering branch and carry it back to your cave. From that moment on, you are bound to a life-or-death mission. Keep this monster from ever dying. At Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa, archaeologists found layers of ash and burned animal bones lying 30 meters deep underground. Lightning could not possibly strike that deep. Your ancestors intentionally brought the fire deep inside their home, warming and nurturing it. But stealing fire is a gamble. What if it pours rain for days on end? What if the firekeeper falls asleep and the flames die out? You will lose your light source, your warmth, and your weapon against the hyena packs. The devastation of losing the fire pushes your brain into a corner. You can no longer wait for nature's handouts. You must birth it yourself. You begin to notice friction. Imagine a gloomy afternoon. You squat on the dry dirt. You tightly clamp a wooden stick between your rough palms and press it down onto a softer piece of wood lined with dry moss. You start to spin it. You spin it continuously with your entire body weight, spinning until your hands blister and bleed, spinning until your shoulder muscles ache as if they might tear apart. Still, nothing happens. But you do not give up, because survival does not allow you to stop. And then, after tens of thousands of failures by thousands of generations, a miracle occurs. From the point of frantic friction, a fragile wisp of smoke curls up. You bend down to the ground, holding your breath. You blow a very gentle, very steady breath onto the tiny red ember. Whoosh! A blazing yellow flame rises right above the palm of your hand. In that monumental moment, the world changes forever. At the Gesher Benot Yaakov site in Israel, researcher Naama Goren Inbar found evidence showing that humans 790,000 years ago had completely mastered the skill of making fire. You have become a creator. But the fire does not just keep you warm, it has reshaped your biological structure. Primatologist Richard Wrangham proved an astonishing truth. Cooking food is a mandatory turning point in biological evolution. Before fire, your enormous stomach devoured the body's energy just to digest tough roots and raw meat. When food is cooked, the heat breaks down the molecular bonds. Meat becomes highly digestible, providing a massive amount of calories. Your jaw shrinks. Your digestive tract shortens, and all that surplus energy is channeled straight into another organ, the brain. Fire doesn't just cook food, it directly fuels the explosion of human intelligence. And as the brain develops, the soul begins to sprout. When night falls, instead of shivering yourself to sleep in fear of wild beasts, your tribe gathers around the campfire. The darkness is pushed back. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner, through studying primitive tribes, discovered a miraculous shift. During the day, 80% of conversations are about the realities of survival, finding food, hunting. But when night falls beneath the golden-orange glow of the fire, 81% of those conversations change completely. They no longer talk about work, they tell stories of gods, of the origins of the stars, of ancestral spirits. The fire created an absolutely safe space for the imagination to soar freely. It is right at this campfire that human culture, language, and empathy are born. The moment your ancestors created fire from nothing, they forged their own artificial sun with their own hands. Now, look at yourself. You are up late, staring at a glowing screen. Artificial light reflects on your face in the middle of the night. All the brilliant technology you enjoy today, it all originates from the moment a primitive human refused to surrender to fate. Tonight, you no longer fear the darkness engulfing the world outside. Because deep within your veins, you carry the DNA of the very first ones who dared to steal the light. You were once in the middle of a pitch-black night, but now you are the fire.